The moment no one was prepared for didn't begin with a dramatic announcement, nor did it come with warning signs that something emotional was about to unfold. It started quietly, almost like any other live broadcast from BTS. A simple gathering, smiles shared between members, soft laughter filling the space, and millions of fans watching from every corner of the world. Everything felt familiar, safe, predictable, but within minutes, that sense of normalcy began to crack. At first, it was subtle, so subtle that only the most attentive viewers noticed it. Jeon Jungkook, often known for his bright energy and steady presence, seemed quieter than usual. Not distant, not disengaged, but different. His eyes lingered longer on certain moments. His smile carried a weight that felt deeper than simple happiness. And when he laughed, it faded just a little too quickly. Fans noticed. They always do. The live chat began to fill with questions. Is Jungkook okay? Why does he look emotional? Something feels different today. The messages scrolled faster and faster, but no one yet understood what they were witnessing. Because what was about to happen would change everything. As the live continued, the members spoke about their recent achievement, reaching #1 on the Billboard chart once again. It was a monumental accomplishment, but for a group like BTS, it was also something they had achieved before. And yet, this time felt different, not because of the number, but because of the journey behind it. Each member began sharing small reflections, memories of the past, jokes about their early days, moments that fans had heard before, but never like this. There was a sincerity in their voices, a quiet acknowledgement of how far they had come. And then, unexpectedly, the focus shifted. All eyes turned to Jungkook. It wasn't planned. No one announced it. But somehow, in that moment, the entire atmosphere centered around him. He hesitated. Just for a second. But that second felt longer than anything else in the broadcast. Jungkook looked down, his fingers lightly fidgeting as if he was gathering his thoughts. The room grew quieter, not silent, but softer, as if even the other members could sense that something important was about to be said. When he finally spoke, his voice was steady, but there was something in it, something fragile. I didn't expect this, he began. Simple words. Nothing unusual, but the way he said them, slowly, carefully, almost as if each word carried years of unspoken emotion, made fans pause. Screenshots were taken. Clips were saved. Hearts began to race. What did he mean? Didn't expect what? Another #1. That didn't make sense. And then, it happened. His voice cracked. It was small, almost unnoticeable to some. But for those who heard it, it was impossible to ignore. Jungkook stopped speaking, just for a moment. But in that moment, everything changed. He looked up, trying to smile, trying to maintain the composure that fans had come to associate with him. But his eyes told a different story. They shimmered, not dramatically, not in a way that demanded attention, but quietly, like something that had been building for a long, long time. And then he blinked, and the tears fell. The chat exploded. Jungkook is crying? No way. Why is he crying? I'm crying too. Millions of fans, watching in real time, suddenly found themselves witnessing something deeply personal. Not a performance, not a scripted moment, but something real, raw, unfiltered. Jungkook quickly turned his face slightly, as if trying to hide it. He laughed softly, a nervous, almost apologetic laugh, as if he didn't want to worry anyone. But it was too late. The world had already seen, and they felt it. The other members reacted instantly, their expressions shifting from relaxed to concerned, yet understanding. One of them gently placed a hand on Jungkook's shoulder. Another smiled softly, as if to reassure him that it was okay, because they knew, they understood what those tears meant, and slowly, Jungkook began to speak again. I just remembered everything, he said. That sentence, that one sentence that hit harder than anything else. Fans didn't need further explanation. Because in that moment, they understood. This wasn't sadness. This wasn't pain. This was something far more powerful. It was the weight of years. Years of training, of uncertainty, of being the youngest in a group carrying expectations far beyond what anyone his age should have had to bear. Years of standing on stage, smiling for fans, pushing forward no matter how difficult things became behind the scenes. Years of growth, of transformation, of becoming. Jungkook continued, his voice still shaking slightly, but now more open, more honest than ever before. When I was younger, I didn't know if we could come this far, he admitted. The words lingered in the air, not because they were shocking, but because they were real. Fans had always seen Jungkook as confident, as strong, as someone who thrived under pressure. But in that moment, he revealed something else, the doubt that had once lived inside him, the uncertainty that had been part of his journey all along. And suddenly, everything made sense. The tears, the hesitation, the emotion that had been building throughout the live. That it wasn't about the present. That it was about the past meeting the present. That it was about realizing that everything they had worked for, everything they had dreamed of, had become real. And that realization was overwhelming. I'm just really grateful, Jungkook said, his voice softer now. But even those simple words carried a depth that couldn't be measured. Grateful for the members who had been by his side through everything. Grateful for the fans who had never left. Grateful for a journey that had been anything but easy, yet had led them to this moment. The other members began to speak as well, sharing their own thoughts, their own memories. But the focus remained on Jungkook, because his moment had become everyone's moment. Fans around the world began sharing their own stories, how they had discovered BTS, how the music had helped them through difficult times, how they had grown alongside the group. Social media filled with messages of love, support, and understanding. I've never felt so connected. He's not crying because he's sad. He's crying because it all finally hit him. We've been together for so long. This feels like our journey too. The live, which had started as a celebration, had transformed into something much deeper. A reflection, a connection, a shared emotional experience between artist and audience. And as the broadcast continued, Jungkook slowly regained his composure. He smiled again, this time not hiding anything, not holding anything back. It was a different kind of smile, softer, more genuine, as if something inside him had been released. But even as the mood lightened, the impact of that moment remained, because moments like that don't just disappear. They stay, they linger, they become part of the story. And when the live finally came to an end, fans didn't leave. Not immediately. They stayed, replaying clips, rewatching the moment, trying to fully understand what they had just witnessed. Because it wasn't just about Jungkook crying. It was about why he cried. It was about everything that led to that moment. The years of effort, the sacrifices, the dreams that once felt impossible, and the realization that those dreams had come true. In a world where so much is curated, filtered, and carefully presented, that moment stood out because it was none of those things. It was real, and perhaps that's why it resonated so deeply. Because in Jungkook's tears, fans saw more than just emotion. They saw a story, a journey, a reminder that even the strongest, most successful people still feel the weight of where they came from. And that sometimes, when everything you've worked for finally becomes real, you don't celebrate with loud words or grand gestures. Sometimes, you just cry. And yet, even after the live broadcast ended, the moment refused to fade. Clips of Jeon Jungkook wiping his tears replayed endlessly across timelines. Slowed down, zoomed in, rewatched not once, not twice, but hundreds of times by fans who couldn't quite let go of what they had just witnessed. It wasn't just a viral moment. It was something heavier, something that seemed to carry years of emotion compressed into a few fragile seconds. People began asking the same question over and over again. Why did it feel so different this time? After all, BTS had achieved incredible milestones before. They had stood on global stages, broken records on Billboard, and delivered speeches that inspired millions. They had smiled, laughed, even teared up in the past. But this felt unlike anything else, because this time, it wasn't just visible. It was undeniable. The emotion didn't feel like a passing reaction. It felt like something that had been quietly building for years, waiting for a moment like this to finally surface.